Hi, Siena. It's really good to talk to you about why, what called you to the training? What was your initial call, and what were those first steps on your journey like?
Um, I was in quite a difficult place in my life, and physically, I was like having a lot of issues, and mentally and emotionally and spiritually too. And I'd kind of tried everything really, to help myself, and it was, a difficult time in my life. My mum had just passed away. I'd left a job that I'd spent the last 5 years kind of really investing everything into, and a relationship was ending, and just a lot of endings, and I was having quite an intense reaction to that. And I came across a practitioner in where I lived at the time who had done your training. So I went to see him, and we kind of started working with the shamanic practices from my first session. And I just couldn't believe really the dynamism of those practices, and how they kind of seem to transform me on many levels at once: the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic. And I just started having these kind of breakthroughs really in terms of my state of mind. And I was really excited by it, what I'd found.
And so you had the experience, first of all,
Hmm.
of working with somebody that had done my training with me, and then that kind of gave you an impetus to explore even more for yourself. Did you ever think that you would become a practitioner, or what was the idea behind it in the beginning?
I because I'd left this job, I wanted to do something different, and I'd long had this idea, since I was a teenager, that maybe I could be a therapist. And I'd kind of investigated different routes over the years, like, I'd gone to therapy, I'd gone to open days of therapy courses, and but it had never quite really grabbed me.
Mm.
And when I started doing these practices, because they worked on all these multiple levels at once rather than just the mind separated out, um, it was a bit of an aha moment, really. And it was just one of those moments in life where there was kind of a window of opportunity to really immerse myself in something new. And I didn't really have a definite kind of sense of I'm doing this to get that with the training, but kind of approach it as a practitioner in a way, because I wanted to do all the case studies so that I, really embodied everything that I'd learned, because that felt really important.
Mm. Yeah. And so you would have had moments along the way, moments of those aha moments and moments of transformation. Can you can you remember any of those?
Mm. Yeah, so many. I've only done the training once, but within that, there was a million moments, I think. Um, but I suppose the big one was in the north when, we kind of embarked on our soul's journey, really, and connecting with what our purpose might look like. And I suppose having gone there with what's the word, curiosity around becoming a practitioner, I then realized actually I picked up a paintbrush, which I hadn't done for many years. And I just was kind of overtaken with this intense energy to create. And it was almost like it was beyond my control. Kind of learned from the training about kind of downloading, this idea of like downloading images or things that are kind of immaterial, I suppose. And yeah, just started painting, and that was about 5 years ago now, and I haven't stopped since.
And and you've had art exhibitions seemingly all over the world as well.
Mm.
So it seems to me like in the north it was when your creativity just blossomed from the work that you were doing.
Mm.
So yeah, nice.
Yeah,
And yeah.
even in the south, like in the first piece of the course, I remember you were reading a lot of poetry, and like that's a big part of how you teach, and a big part of the kind of practice as well is the kind of mythic
Mhm.
realm. And I've always been very like, I've always written, and I remember telling you that, and then you inviting me to read something that I'd written.
Yeah.
So right from the beginning, I feel like my voice was being nurtured in a way that I hadn't experienced before. So I
Mm.
guess the seed was planted right from the start, really.
Yeah, to kind of feel somebody had seen that in you or
Mhm.
been able to tap into that place inside of you that was waiting to be birthed into the world. Yeah, I love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
you did. I remember you did a recording about the stars, and I really loved it.
I am the Alpha and Omega, the one who came before the Word, God, the silence, the black, expansive silence, the sound of infinity spreading her wings. Stop. Can you hear her? The sound of a starless night beginning to twitch. Stop. Stop. Eve feels shame every time you say her name, and you can't redeem her from that. The God that we praise has cast us away, and we're trying to win him back. Stop. Stop. There is another way, an ancient path of beauty and pain, dreamed by dreamers in distant lands, where every grain of sand knows the heart of man, where there is no word for I, only us and we, where I am deep in the heart of God and God is deep in the heart of me. Stop. Can you hear her? The sound of infinity spreading her wings. Stop. Can you hear her? The silence. The black, expansive silence. The sound of a starless night beginning to twitch.
That it's like opening up that creative spirit that was there all along. It's just it hadn't had its opportunity to be nourished. And during the training, you were able to nourish it because it's like somebody sees it within you, then you can see it in yourself eventually.
Yeah, and healing all of the blocks,
Mm.
that prevent creativity. And I don't think I've healed all of them, but I know, in that first go around the wheel, that many of the things were getting in my way seem to be relinquished.
Mm. Yeah, nice. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sienna, for sharing your experiences. And I expect we'll have some more conversations along the way. Uh,
Hope so,
thank
Grace.
you.
Thank you.